Peace, family. It's your brother Marc Lamont Hill here on the Marc Lamont Hill official YouTube channel. Let me know where you're writing in from. Let me know where you're calling in from. And in the meantime, also smash up those likes, hit the like button. Let the YouTube algorithms know you care about what we're talking about out here. But hit your city, your state, your country, wherever you're writing in from. Give me the location because we want to know where you're coming in from. Shout out to Denise Noir. I see you in Houston, Texas. Snoopy N95 from DC, JP in Sydney, Australia. That's what I'm talking about. Michelle Wash in Denver, yes. Makeda in Bronx, New York. Najai and or Najee and Keenan. I'm sorry, Najai in Atlanta, Georgia. Fela in VA, and Nan Garvey in Queens. Love that Garvey name. And of course, Linda in Virginia, and some other folk out there. I'll shout y'all out throughout the time here. But I wanted to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about some more hip hop stuff because on Friday we had two big moments that I commented on with regard to hip hop. The first thing was Hiss. You know, we woke up on Friday morning to a Nicki Minaj attack, meaning that Nicki was attacked. She was one of the many people who was lyrically touched by Megan Thee Stallion's song Hiss. And it was interesting. You know, we there's a video on the channel, we talked about it, we broke it down. The lyrics, you know, some of the better bars of that song, which I actually liked. I love when Megan raps. You know, sometimes, you know, you could get so into. I'm not talking about Megan. I'm talking about in general. You can get so into making features. You can get into making singles. You can even get so into these days making TikTok and YouTube songs that some of our best artists, some of our best spitters don't spit. So when Megan's on the track and she's on her A game, it's few people who have her talent level. So I was like, yo, Megan brought it. The wordplay was dope. The references were dope. And I actually was pretty happy to see that. And so we all knew that people was going to respond. I didn't know if Partisan Fontaine was going to respond because he got a jab, more than jab, really. Drake got jabbed with that BBL line, you know, and it was like, is Drake going to respond? Like, how do you respond? And you don't see too many cross-gender battles or like man-woman rap battles, right? So we didn't know who was going to say what, but what I knew for sure, what I had no doubt about at all, none at all, was that Nicki Minaj was going to respond. And Megan went to the Breakfast Club that morning, Friday morning, to release the record. She talked to Envy. She talked to Charlemagne, and she said, like, I ain't named no names, but hit dogs will holler. For those ain't from the United States, or those that don't know that country ass expression, they say if you throw a rock into a crowd of dogs, you know, the one that gets hit will holler. Hit dog will holler. The one who's guilty will be named, not from hearing their name, but from hearing their name themselves by shouting themselves out, by hollering when they get hit with that rock. And all weekend, we got responses from Nicki Minaj. We heard from Nicki Minaj. Nicki came out quick out the gate with that Instagram live where she wasn't even on camera. She sounded, let's just say she sounded like she was feeling the moment. Whatever she was doing, she was into it. And then she started playing the music. And then she played the Bigfoot line, you know, and we didn't know the song was gonna be called Bigfoot necessarily, but she played that bar, you know, bad B, she like 6 foot. I call her 6 foot. I'm sorry, bad B, she like 6 foot. I call her Bigfoot. The B fell off. I say, get up on your good foot. She was hit. And if you remember, the reason she was upset was because of the Megan's Law line that was in Hiss. Because again, Megan brought some bars. Whatever you think about who's right, who's wrong, I ain't even getting into that at this moment. But she said these hoes. What she say? Oh my God, what she say? It was something good. Let me see if I got it right here. She said, no, you know what? I don't even know if I can play it because copyright stuff. But the point is, she said these hoes mad about Megan. They need to be mad about Megan's law, right? Um, which is like that's a solid jab against Kenneth Petty, who is um, who is Nicki Minaj's husband, um, who clearly had not clearly. Let me not say clearly, because some of y'all didn't know that, but he had some allegations against some sexual allegations against him. He was convicted of sexual misconduct, of rape, and as a result, he's on a child sex offender list. In addition, um, Nicki Minaj's brother has also come into legal trouble for sexual misconduct. If you remember on Sheether, uh, uh, Remy made that whole semen in your pants, Jelani, get it, Jelani semen in your pants. Basically, making a play on words with her brother and sexual violence or sexual assault or rape or whatever. Um, and so you start talking about her brother, her husband, whatever, on sexual misconduct, she gonna bite back. That was the hit dog for sure. Um, and so now all of a sudden, now all of a sudden, we got I'm reading the comments, y'all killing me. Um, let me pause just to answer this question for Brancusi Pacino. Why do you discuss such lightweight topic today? Because it's not lightweight to me. I think hip hop is important. I'm a Black American. I love hip hop. I love music. I want to talk about hip hop. I'm listening to music. I'm engaged in this conversation. Uh, I think there's some deeper points to it, and I'm going to get to some of those. But I also just want to talk about hip hop. And family, if you don't want to talk about hip hop, there are, I believe, um, maybe a billion videos on YouTube. I don't know, maybe a billion, maybe not. I don't know if it's a billion, but certainly hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of accounts and videos. Just go to a different one or just sit this one out. You know what I mean? You ain't got to watch it, but you also got to come to the comments making it seem as if, I'm not entitled to talk about hip hop or whatever I want to talk about, or that people in this room don't want to talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, y'all, don't talk about it. Now let's move on to the actual conversation. Um, so that's sort of where it ended, right? Over the weekend was that she was just coming back, clapping back Nikki, but always with comments, always with comments, always with comments. If you saw, I'm gonna pull up this tweet for y'all just so y'all can see it. Um, she wasn't putting out the music. And the fear that a lot of us had was that this was going to go the way a lot of internet beefs go right now, that it was going to go, sadly, um, the way a lot of rap beef goes now, is that people don't rap. They just bark back at each other on the internet. I'm talking about everybody, men, women, young, old. It's like, nigga, rap, 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 please rap. So Nicki Minaj tweeted this on the 26th, for basically late Friday. Megan's Law, for a free beat, you could hit hashtag Megan Raw. All right, that's a bar. Whatever you think about Nicki, whatever you think about Meg, that's a bar. That's actually a fire. That's a line that make you go, all right, there's something there. But it was like, just rap. I don't want to see it on Twitter. I don't want fire tweets. I want fire music. And then we woke up to Bigfoot. We woke up to Bigfoot. And so before I could even um, play the track, I saw the tweets this morning and I saw Nicki talking about it. And then I saw the rankings, and it was like Nicki didn't just put out Bigfoot the single; she put out Bigfoot the single, and she put out Bigfoot the what do you call it, the acapella version, and both I'm fixing my cleaning up my camera, y'all, and both the acapella version and the one with the music were killing the charts. I'm talking about killing the charts. Like she came out the gate, you know, number one on this, number six on that, both of them fire in terms of their chart ranking. So then the question becomes, all right, well, how good is the music? Because we know Nicki got the ground game. You know what I'm saying? We know she got the ability to talk shit on the internet. We know she's funny. We know she's talented. And let me say this before I say anything about Nicki's music that she put out today. Before I talk about Bigfoot, Nicki Minaj is a generational talent. Nicki Minaj is a generational talent, and I don't say that lightly. I'm not one of them people that be like gassing like artists. Very few people have the gifts that Nicki Minaj has. Her wordplay, her flow, her pen. She writes her own stuff. You know, if you can write and you can spit and you got a flow and she has a voice and she's creative and she's diverse, she got a million flows, a million characters. When you look at a performance like Nicki Minaj on Monster, just as an example, um, it's hard to deny her again generational talent. You got somebody that's on a track with Jay Z, Rick Ross, Kanye West, and she shines over all of them. Over all of them. So this isn't about Nicki Minaj's talent at all. But there are times where I feel like Nicki falls short. I didn't love her response to Remy. She ended up doing it, she did the track with with Drake and Wayne, and it was fine. It wasn't weak. It wasn't weak. Um, it wasn't whack, but it wasn't Sheether. She didn't respond in kind. When she made was a stupid hoe back in the day, kind of a response to Lil Kim. It was good. It was fine. It was a song, but it wasn't fire. And she's capable of fire. She's capable of extraordinary shit. I would argue, and some of y'all gonna disagree. The Nicki fans out there probably gonna disagree with me, but I would argue she has yet to make um, a classic album. She's had best-selling albums, chart toppers, Pink Friday, all that stuff. She sells records. I'm not talking about that, but I'm saying that when Lil Wayne puts out the Carter, or Jay Z, or Carter 3 for me, but the Carter 2, Carter, whatever. Um, when Jay Z puts out the Blueprint, when Jay Z puts out the Black Album, when Jay Z puts out Reasonable Doubt, when Nas puts out Illmatic, um, when Kendrick puts out Good Kid, Mad City, when 50 puts out Good Rich, like Get Rich, excuse me, or Die Trying, like there are these are generational talents with generational albums. Nicki's a generational talent without the generational album. Um, but she's capable of so much more, and part of it is because she also makes pop music. Part of it is because she doesn't stay locked to one genre. But for whatever reason, Nicki makes all this stuff. Nicki does all this stuff. But now is the moment because his just came out. His came out. And now Nicki's got to respond. So I heard the track. I listened to the track. I gotta say, I was disappointed. Hit the thumbs up if you were disappointed with Bigfoot. Hit the thumbs up if you were disappointed with Bigfoot. I know some of y'all gonna disagree with me, but I was disappointed. She was capable of so much more. Again, were there good bars in it? Yes. Now, sadly, some of those good bars were what she tweeted. the big the good foot, bad bitch, I call her, whatever. Um, that whole that whole bar, that whole line, whatever was dope. But you tweeted it or you posted it on Instagram Live. So by the time we heard it, by the time it came out, it was kind of already like it was all right. You know what I'm saying? Um, she has some other bars. I'm pulling up the lyrics now just so y'all can see some of them or hear some of them. I'm not gonna spit them, but I'm just gonna read them to you. You know, she talked about her flow. Cool. She did the shit talking. I'll buy your whole catalog. Cool. You know, she said, how you fuck your mother man when she died? I don't know nothing about that. She said, how you going Gail King and can't cry? Now, start referring to the Gail King interview where she talked about her relationship with Tory Lanez, talking about that big time interview. She said, child by Bigfoot, but you still a small fry, swearing on your dead mother when you lie. This is a recurring theme in the song. She keeps alluding to the fact um, that Megan allegedly has told some big lie about her mother, and that she's kind of holding it over her. Like, there's a thing. Don't make me tell the story of what you did. Um, she doesn't get into it again. She drops that whole Megan's Law thing. Uh, you know, the usual. You a hoe. You have too much sex. You know what I mean? Some of the it's funny. It's like the anti-feminist narrative. At the same time, it's like everybody talks about being hypersexual, being able to control their sexual freedom and their own sexual identity, and women's empowerment through sex positivity. When them diss records start, man, everybody come a hoe again as a diss. It's fascinating to hear how that plays out. But she went through I went through the track. It was cool. You know, she can rap. It's never gonna be so bad. But it didn't have battle energy. It didn't have the fire or the creativity. It felt like it felt mean. Fucking your best friend man is crazy. You the type though. You was lying to the queen and you went lying to the king. Gail, this 30-year-old T is so stale. Kylie kicked you out and made you stumble to the car. Barb's, I need a good alcohol bar. Roman, wait, that was the bar. Like, she had this whole thing, where she's telling the story of Kylie Jenner allegedly kicking her out of a party right before the shooting incident. And that whole good alcohol bar was clever. Again, clever. A lot of clever stuff. You know what I mean? She's talking about all the men that she slept with. Again, not different. Kind of like what Remy did to her on Sheether. She said she want to party with the baby while rubbing on Tory toupee. She started with the Lupe. She said, "What a fiasco, Lupe. Future made you pay. She want to party with the baby while rubbing on Tory toupee. I guess she needed money bags for them Trey songs. She G Easy. Carl made a crawl for it, right? So she's doing wordplay with rappers' names. You know what I'm saying? I get it. She's it's clever, it's interesting, it's good gossip for the people who care about that. As a hip hop fan, I want more competitive shit. I want more bars. Not just like you fucked everybody, you fucked everybody, you fucked everybody. To me, that's less interesting. But look, do what you got to do, right? All's fair in love in war. All's fair in the battle. There's a long history of people saying wild shit in the battle. Kara's one, talking about Roxanne Shante is only good for steady fucking, right? Like, a lot of misogyny in there. When you're in the battle, you hear stuff like that, right? Homophobia. Kara's one again. They rhyming like they gay. On the bridge is over, right? You think about the intensity of Kill That Noise. You think about Ether. I mean, Ether was had the homophobic stuff. Gay Z, Cockefeller Records. It had these kind of tall tales. You know, calling my crib. I ain't even give you my numbers. It had the you know, Rockefeller died of AIDS. That's the end of his chapter. This, what I mean? Like, all of that kind of stuff. Um, Jay-Z's Takeover took a different approach, right? You know, some of it was the Summer Jam screen effect with Prodigy, rest in peace, Prodigy, who, and allegedly in a ballerina uniform. P told me something different. He said that was just his mom had a dance studio. He was just part, you know, he was just in a performance. It wasn't no ballerina shit. But whatever it was, if he wants to do ballet, do ballet. But the point was, Jay Z was strategic in how he used information. He destroyed. He tried to break down and destroy Nas's career, disrespect Nas's career by talking about, you know, how many albums he had over a period of time. There was a way that it was cool. But then at the end of the takeover, what does Jay Z say? He says, "You know who? Do you know what? Which you know who? Let's keep that between me and you." We later found out that he was referring to a sexual rendezvous, a sexual encounter, a sexual relationship with Nas's ex, Nas's daughter's mom, which came out later. You know, Carmen Bryant came out later in her book. It came out later in the streets. It came out later on Super Ugly. Why am I mentioning this? I'm mentioning this because that bar, you know who, do you know what you know who, to me is the line. That is the line, right? Jay mentions it, mentions it, but doesn't say what it is. Doesn't say what it is. To me, that's some G shit. And he's like, look, if you want to end the battle right now, this will probably never get said. But what happens? Nas don't back down. He makes ether, and then shit escalates. Then we get to Super Ugly. Now, by the time you get to Super Ugly, Jay Z is naming names. He's dry snitching too, right? He's talking about, hey, me and the boy. When you say me and the boy, hey, I got more in common than just balling and rhyming. Get it? More in common. I came in your Bentley back seat, skeeted in your Jeep, left condoms. I mean, you know, like um, he he went in, and according to Jay, and according to other people, including, you know, and according to Jay, I'll just leave it there. Um, his mom called him like, "Yo, that's too far. You went too far." Um, the you know who, do you know what, you know who line was the line. That bar was the line. Super Ugly was past the line. Men go past the line all the time. I'm making this clear. I'm not saying like Nicki goes too far, or that we want women to be like prissy and pristine and pure and men can do whatever they want. I'm saying Tupac went too far. Hove went too far. Um, People go too far, you know. But was Nicki's too far is the question. And my answer is yes. The dead mother references, for me, is where it goes too far. The whole track, the whole song ends with the whole, she was lying on your dead mama, on your dead mama, lying on your dead mama, on your dead mama. She keeps repeating that, lying on your dead mama. Um, and for me, that's wild. That's wild and unacceptable in every way possible. And then she kind of finishes the track by threatening her, right? On some like, if you, what she said, if you don't apologize for this, and if you keep talking, basically like, if this beef continues, I'm going to out you in all these ways. I got all the receipts. Um, um, that's my issue. That's the too far part. Talking about people dead, mom, too much. And I personally like rap. Rap should never get into the family shit, man. Carolina Boy writes in and says, does anybody think family in general is off limits? Did Pusha T go too far on Drake? I personally don't think so. Y'all wildin'. Carolina Boy, yes. Look, I love the story of Adidon. It's a great song. It's one of my favorite battle raps ever. Right? Yuck. The ad libs is crazy. The bars is crazy. Push went in. But there's a difference between, and I hear you, Carmen. There's a difference between, Drake mentioning a fiance, right? And like Push said, well, let's see who you chose as your Beyonce. And then he went in. I mean, he went in calling her a porn star, blah 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 blah. To me, that's gross, but not not being a porn star, but like his choice of lyrical references. He could have, I thought that was a lot. But I didn't think that was too far. To me, too far is when you mentioned the boy. You mentioned a 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old, however old he was. You mentioned a toddler. You mentioned a little boy. That little boy ain't bother nobody. So when Push, who I love, mentions the boy, right, you are hiding a child. I mean, he just escalated from 0 to 100, right? You are hiding a child. That's when I'm like, all right, fam, like this is getting ugly, and I'm actually very happy that the beef stopped. Drake didn't respond, and I know Jay Prince. Shout out to Jay Prince. I believe Jay Prince intervened to make sure it didn't get too far, go too far. I hear all that. Once kids get involved, once families get involved, once moms and dads and brothers and sisters get involved, unless they part of the beef itself, I, I can't rock with it. I can't rock with it. I can't rock with it. Okay, so that's too far. Now, you might say, well, Megan mentions Nicki's husband or alludes to Nicki's husband and or brother first. That's true. Sorry, my we got locked. We froze up for a second. A little technical difficulty. Shout out to you, Sharia, for that generous donation. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, family. Thank you so much. Um, you might say, what I was saying was, some of y'all might say, well, yeah, Megan started it by mentioning the Megan's Law thing. I feel you. That's not untrue. That is true. But is there not a difference between pointing out that someone married a sex offender, and also being a sex offender is not a good thing, and just mention someone's dead mom? To me, there's a difference. But if you think there isn't a difference, I ain't mad at you. I get the argument. For me, it's at that line though, right? Like, you need to worry about Megan's Law because you married to a sex offender, a confirmed sex offender. Now, Nikki says it's a more complicated story. He says it's a more complicated story. I'd love to hear that story. I'd love for him to unpack that story. Everybody deserves a chance to unpack that story. Same thing about her brother. I'm not that ain't where I'm going with this. I'm just talking about whether the battles themselves and the comments themselves in the battles are over the top. Um, it's tough, yo. It's tough, but I will say the dead mom thing ain't cool. And here's the other reason. And then I'll leave y'all alone. Here's the other reason why this dead mom thing ain't cool to me. Nicki Minaj's fans are not like normal fans. Normal fans like the artist. Normal fans respect the artist. Normal fans support the artist. The Barbs are something else. You know, Beyonce's fans, don't get me wrong, Beyonce's fans will go in now. The Navy, Rihanna's people will rock with, they rock with Ree too. But Nicki's fans, in my experience, and I don't want no smoke, y'all. I don't want no beef. But Nicki's fans are so intense. They're so organized. They're so widespread online. They just do the most. They do a lot. And I'll give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example. After we heard the dead mom drama, look at this. Look at this. I hope y'all are y'all watching. Nicki Minaj fans dox cemetery where Megan Thee Stallion's mom is buried after diss track drama. Y'all see what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it again. Look at this. Nicki Minaj fans dox. Now, doxing, if y'all don't know what doxing is, they're literally taking the address to the cemetery. They're exposing the cemetery where her mother, rested her soul, is buried. She made a joke about her mother, Holly Thomas is her name, who passed away from brain cancer in 2019. She made a comment about it. Then we saw on Twitter this. So the Barbs have found out where Meg's mom's grave is and told others to go desecrate that lady grave. This is beyond disgusting, and now it's time to fully cancel that woman and her cult. I mean, people are upset about it. As you can see, people talking about canceling her, people talk about all kinds of stuff. But the idea of saying there's a rap beef and I'm a fan of Nicki Minaj, or I'm a fan of I'm a fan of Megan Thee Stallion or whoever. You know, I get that. And I get that we ride with our people. You know what I mean? When I see certain rap beefs or I see certain rap battles, I ain't gonna lie, I get invested in them probably more than I should. I care more than I should. That's all true. That's all true. That's all true. But I never want to go to the grave of someone's mom. What the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, seriously? That's what we doing? We going to people's graves? Like, what in your brain would make you think that that's okay? Now, let me be very clear. Nicki didn't tell people to do that. Nicki Minaj didn't say, yo, go to this woman's grave. She didn't say that. But she also didn't stop it. She also didn't stop it. And if you have the kind of influence that Nicki Minaj has over um, over young girls, young men, grown girls, grown women, grown men, if you got that kind of power and influence, um, and you hear people and you know people, because she got PR team, she got all of that. She sees what people are saying. She sees what people are saying. You got to say something about it. Your fans are out of control. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. So you think I'm picking some isolated example? Nicki Minaj fans dox autistic TikToker over pro Megan Thee Stallion video. TikToker Bella Delgado said that Nicki Minaj fans doxed him after he posted a scathing video supporting Megan Thee Stallion. This man was forced to go to social media and apologize for having an opinion because he said Nicki Minaj fans are attempting to dox me, messaging family members as well as people who aren't members of my family, saying them shit. Apparently, they got somebody's address. He said, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I disrespected Nicki Minaj. I saw a lot of other people doing it. I thought I'd add my 2 cents. The man just gave his opinion. You know, and he said, sometimes things come out a lot harsher than he intends because he's on the spectrum, right? He's autistic, and it can cause involuntary responses to sensory or emotional overload. That's what the autism.org site says. The man, he didn't deserve that. He just didn't. Now, you might say the fans online didn't know that he was autistic. True. but they knew he didn't do anything but make a video. If somebody makes a video about an artist that's your friend or your of whom you're a fan, and you don't like what they say, give them a thumbs down. Walk away. Whatever. But you start giving out their address, you start subjecting people to harm and unsafety and danger, you start terrorizing people. This is the Nicki Minaj fan base. Again, Michael Jackson has a fan base like this. They go in. Some are normal, some are 10 times past normal, 10 steps past normal. I don't hold the artist accountable for the stuff their crazy fans do, but if you know your fans are doing crazy stuff, sometimes you have to say something. And in this case, when you're ginning them up, you're ginning them up by talking about her being a liar, by calling her this and that. And you're advancing this narrative that is not substantiated by facts, and that is that Megan Thee Stallion lied about getting shot. So again, in a battle, you can talk all the shit you want. If you just say she didn't really get shot because it's a rap battle, fine. I think that's cool, right? Let me take it back. I don't think it's cool. I think it's misogynistic, even though it's a woman doing it. I think it's anti-woman. I think it's fucked up in so many ways. But if you want to battle and you want to talk shit, you want to battle like that, that's battle. But now you're saying stuff that's getting people hurt. You're saying stuff that's getting people terrorized. And that worries me. That worries me. That worries me a lot. And so at the end of the day, I'm glad bars is back. I'm glad that people are actually rapping again. Thank God people are actually rapping again. They're not just going back and forth. If I see another rapper having a fight on Twitter, I'm talking about old head rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't take it. I can't take it. I, and I gotta say, it kind of started with Action Bronson a little bit for me. Action Bronson was out of pocket with Ghostface, and Ghostface just stood in the video, cool as shit, playing some old school R&B, just talking crazy, right? And he shut Machine Gun Kelly down. I mean, Machine Gun Kelly is Freudian. He shot Action Bronson down. Cool. But the problem is, then people start saying, yo, all y'all ain't Ghostface. Ghostface is a lyrical legend. Most people, like, y'all can't just be making videos and tweets as your clapbacks. Make raps as your clapback. Rap. And people ain't doing that. So I'm glad to see Megan rapping. I'm glad to see Nicki rapping. And I hope they keep rapping. I just hope that the lyrics and the bars don't go too far. And no, I'm not holding them to a different standard than the men. I'm saying the same thing. I don't like where Pusha T shit went mentioning Adonis. I didn't like where Hit 'Em Up went for a million reasons. I didn't like, where Super Ugly went. And I don't want this to go anywhere uglier too. Not because I necessarily worry about violence, although you never know. Because with Foxy and Kim, shit got crazy. People got shot. People died. People ended up indirectly. People ended up going to jail. All that. I don't want any of that. What I want is just bars and competition and good rap again. That's it. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. So at the end of the day, I think the answer is yes. I think she went too far, but that's just me. Anyway, family, some of y'all are still mad that I'm talking about rap music. I'm sorry. It's not because I need content. It's not because I ain't got nothing else to do. It's because I love rap and I love basketball and I love I don't know, TV shows. I love music. I love movies. I love all kinds of stuff. And I'm gonna talk about different things at different times because it's interesting to me. And if it's not interesting to y'all, then don't watch it. And I don't mean that with any disrespect to anybody. I literally mean, if you don't rock with it, wait for the video that you do rock with. But I like talking about hip hop. I like building with y'all about it, and I like hearing your perspectives. Anyway, hit the like button if you like what I'm doing here. Hit the subscribe button if you're not a member of the channel. We talk about all kinds of stuff around here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, hit the join button if you're so inclined, so you can become a member of the Marc Lamont Hill official channel, and support us in every way that you can. And also, if you're so inclined, just hit Cash App, hit $ MLHTV. When you do that, you allow us to build content. You allow us to expand the platform. You allow us to generate revenue to put up that new studio that we're building soon, inshallah. You let me know what y'all can do and y'all do it. But if you can't do anything else, just watch the content. Keep supporting us. We love you. We appreciate you. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.